Okay, welcome everybody to another stream, and in this stream we will continue the painting we did last time, which was this surreal, almost very epic fantasy looking landscape, and we will continue on that. We will improve the photo bash, and I wouldn't be Phyrexis if I wouldn't have done some more photo bashing off stream. Before I start, I mean, still nobody's here, but anyway, if you're just tuning in or watch the VOD, I hope you had a great Easter or still have a great Easter. I hope you're all doing fine. I certainly had a nice feast, very much food together with my family. It was great. I did sleep a lot though, because good food makes me very, very sleepy. Yeah, so basically, I think we can continue this one. So this is where we left off, and I'm gonna show you real quick the version we're working on now. And as you can see, we added this foreground element, which was a photo bash too. This was some photo I took, and this was I think an art breeder thingy. And we will draw over that. A little bit of this is still coming through from the original image, but I think this really separates the foreground in a much needed way to the mid and background. And also I pushed this this tree formation here way down, because it didn't make sense in the original image. When you see here, this doesn't make sense on a scale level. I mean, we were talking about how this is all surreal and it doesn't really matter, but still it was kind of bothering me, so I pushed that into the foreground a bit more, yeah, by moving it down. And I think what we are now doing is getting rid of this thing. I didn't really liked it in the first place, and it didn't make that much sense on a scale level, so I just get rid of it. I mean, we have to look out a little bit as to not screw up the composition here. I think maybe this red is going in too much. Let's just try to make that work. With these things, I still don't have a clue what they are, but I think they look nice, so I'm gonna keep them there. Yeah, something like that. I would like that a lot more than the other castle thingy, which wasn't really working. And still you can see that a lot of the stuff that I meticulously painted in the last stream, I just slapped this foreground element in here. But I do think the image will improve from a clear foreground, so you shouldn't be afraid to basically get rid of some of your elements, even though you become kind of attached to them. But it's always better to overpaint. The more you will do that, the better your image will look in the end. I mean, it's taking a bit of a turn to very epic looking fantasy art. Only thing missing maybe is a wolf or a unicorn. Won't go that way exactly, but yeah. I mean, the whole image was developing in this kind of way, so better than fight it as they screw it, and we are embracing it. Okay, here we need to watch out for the perspective a bit. Yeah, it's basically the same what we did in the last stream, which is just a lot of overpaint. But still, as I said, I don't consider this time lost. It's always improving. And if I wouldn't be able to start the image like that, I don't think. I don't know if I want to add those green elements here, maybe just... yeah? I don't know. I have to watch out a bit for the tonal values, as the photo bashing that we did kind of screwed them up a little bit. We have some very dark tones in here, and the foreground isn't as dark anymore. But I still think, I mean, those rules are just guidelines, and sometimes you can break them, and I think this isn't a bad choice. I do think this is a tad light though. We need to tone that down, and we add this separation color here in the back. Something like that. Let's see if we can blend a bit, which will be a huge issue throughout the painting, that we constantly have to blend and make everything come together a bit more. And I do think let me get a chalk brush. To emphasize the shadows a bit more. Yeah, something like that. I mean, it's important to emphasize that the foreground is going all the way here to these trees, otherwise the perspective doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, important to do that. Also need to emphasize the perspective here still a bit. It should be way darker. Yeah, we're getting there. But I don't want the shadows to be as dark. Mocky Design, nice to have you here. I hope you're doing great. We are still continuing the the landscape painting from last stream, and I did some more photo bashing. I love how this ROM has progressed. Yeah, I do think what really elevated the image to another level was the inclusion of the foreground element here, because this opens the whole space up a bit more. And I was already talking a bit about that you shouldn't get too attached to the stuff you painted. Like, you remember this was the time we left off and we painted all of these rock formations here, and I also think they look cool on their own, but still, if you have the foreground, it just settles the image so much more. That means that we have more work to do, but this tells you once more that it's actually a great idea to overpaint your image again and again and again and again. Because every time you do that, you usually arrive at something you haven't thought of and you couldn't have thought of when you started the image, and usually it's better. I mean, I constantly keep up some older files to see if everything is working, and sometimes it doesn't. You just have to be aware of that and then cancel it if something doesn't work. But yeah, for the most part, it usually improves the image. Yeah, I don't know if we need those mountains here. Just a result of the photo bash. Sometimes you can just roll with it. Other times it's better to settle for the things you started. So we need to get rid of this line here. And I do think that we might want to push this even a step more. I mean, sometimes I'm a bit hesitant to paint over the images for a very, very long time, but I think with this one it basically screams that it wants to be a bit more detailed. Reminds me of the phrase "kill your darlings." Sometimes you have to sacrifice parts of the drawing for the overall image. Yeah, that's exactly true. And you have to be courageous in a sense, not cowardly clinging onto your work, but say, okay, I've done a lot of work and screw it all away, threw it all away. Yeah. And it needs a bit of experience to know when to do that, because obviously if you just Betty Butterfly, nice that you're here too. I hope you can understand me talking English. I hope that's in the realm of possibility. This is always the problem when you have these two various audiences. I was talking about that, I think in the last retro stream already, is that it's very difficult to cater to all audiences, and I can only speak in one language. I mean, I could do a bilingual stream where I constantly switch, but I think neither side would be very appreciative of that, because it's just as tedious, so I think we just stay with English. But Betty, how do you like the image? Did you see the first one where we started it? If not, it's totally fine too, just asking. Obviously it still needs a lot of work. It has some very bad photo bashing going on, but actually it already kind of reads. I mean, you can see the photo bash needs some cleanup, but yeah, like I said, it already reads okay, at least in my perspective. Let's say that. Yeah, you understand everything, but if it's okay, you can write German. Yeah, absolutely no problem. I mean, I hope you don't mind that I'm going to translate what you've said. Let me see here. Do we need... We need to separate that out into a rather dark tone? Or do we want to stick with... I think both. Here we have a bit of the lighter tones to indicate plane changes in the background. And this we do rather dark and then go into light again to indicate a little bit of mist. This should be further in the foreground, I feel. Because this is supposed to be in the background. Let us just blend a little bit. And I do want to get rid of the various pixelated stuff resulting from the photo bash. Maybe here we want to reintroduce sharp edges again. Gaming Hamster, nice to have you here too. I hope you had a great Easter. I hope all of you had a great Easter. It looks fantastic. I can't say much about that, but your pictures are breathtaking. Oh, you're breathtaking! Yeah, this was my Keanu Reeves impression. Had to think of his name. Okay, let's see. I mean, we will get rid of the details here, but we have to. And then this here, I killed the element that was here before, so we need to work a little bit on the... I guess it's lava. Is it lava? I'm not sure, but I think so. Yeah. And I do also want to include some more tree elements, like tree crowns and something like that here. Yeah, so much work to do. Let me switch to the Feng Zhu brush, and we want to accentuate the shadow tones here, I feel like. We can put it like that. Okay, and then blend a bit more. So, what did you all do for Easter? We had a big feast, a lot of food with the family. We made salmon with honey mustard, grilled that, and also had a lot of veggies, grilled veggies, and I made green asparagus with balsamico dressing. What did we have? We had potato salad. Let me grab the chop brush real quick. And noodle salad, but I'm not a big fan of noodle salad. Actually, I really don't like noodles that much. I might be a weird person. The only time I like noodles is like Asia style oh, why is it doing that? Like Chinese noodles, for example, I like those. But also with that, I can't eat too much of those. I'm just not that much of a carbs guy. I need to be... It's actually not the right tool for the job I'm currently doing here, because it's controlling the opacity. Let us introduce the green element maybe here. I don't know, this, as I said, this doesn't make sense on a lightning level, but still, if something looks cool, you gotta go for it. And I certainly want to tone down the shadows here a bit. as I think they are quite harsh, and we don't have that many harsh shadows in here. Rather have them have a blue tint. I mean, it's a subtle thing, but it will work out in the end, I promise. Just needs a lot of a lot of overpaint. Something like that. I think we need some more yellow tones here, like really strong accents. And maybe some little shadow tones here. Yeah, with this element here, I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do with it. With the photo bash, I implied a little bit a cityscape of sorts, but still maybe it will work better as a mountain. Yeah, I don't really know what we're gonna do with it. Maybe go for a bit of a hybrid approach. I do think I should switch to the other chalk brush, which isn't controlled by opacity. Oh, I do think I have blending mode, and okay, this is why it gave me this. I kind of like those. They're blending a bit in the background. But I did want to have some rather hard edges here. The lightning comes off a little bit strong. What is my favorite color? That's actually a great question. I just wanted to know what maybe your favorite color is first in the chat, and then I tell you mine. Because I don't think you will expect it. Maybe you will, I don't know. I've made some suggestions, but I don't think I outright told it in the stream. Yeah, this is still too harsh. Really need to be careful with the lights here. I do want a little bit of light and darkness but it shouldn't be too overboard. I think even that is too much. I don't know, we have to come back to that. This is one of the time where I did a lot of work and I don't think I improved anything. So let's dial this back quite a bit. I mean, you can even overpaint it. Just, I think this works out as a strong silhouette a lot better, so I guess let's keep it that way. In German we have a word for that, it's called Verschlimmbesser. And yeah, so I have to be a bit aware of that. Ich mag viele Farben, aber ich glaube so Weinrot ist meine Lieblingsfarbe. Basically Betty tells that a wine red is her favorite color because I asked her what her was, because she asked me what mine was. And now to spoil it, my favorite color is actually brown, which I think is like 1.1% of the whole population has that favorite color. It's very, very unpopular, but I like it for two reasons. First of all, I like to paint with a lot of grays and a lot of browns, so it's maybe a bit of an artistic choice, but yeah, usually even from the artist no one goes for brown. But then again, I really love like hiking, and I love seeing all those wood colors. I love wood finishes. I mean, obviously I'm more of a child of the 90s, but I really like the 70s wood aesthetic a lot. So yeah, I don't know. So that's why it is brown for me. Also like terracotta, burnt umber and stuff like that. Those are really nice colors. At least in my opinion. You are certainly free to disagree. Okay, let's see. I think we might have to work a little bit on these elements here because they are so very clumsily edited. I mean, they just contain a lot of visual clutter, and I do want to get rid of that. And then we can paint over it once more after we cleaned that up a bit. And I hope this will improve stuff a bit, but it takes a bit of time. Yeah, I think when you go into the psychology of favorite colors and stuff like that, it usually states, I don't think there's a lot of truth in that, since I come from a background in psychology, as you all know. So I'm very, very skeptical about the scientific side of all of that. Like this is basically horoscope level stuff. But still, it's interesting that I find myself a lot more in the description of the brown type of people which are like reliable and a bit laid back and trustworthy and stuff like that. Really down to earth. I mean, you could say maybe I'm just the half of that, but I kind of aspire to be like that, and in a lot of senses I think I already am. Still, you might disagree, but maybe when you read something like that and then you are a bit drawn to that, I don't know. And one thing I do want to mention, not related to colors now, is that, sorry, because of Easter and all of the preparation and stuff like that, I didn't have the time to implement my new camera. I will do that hopefully for the next stream. So if you were curious about what my hand is doing in relation to the screen, which the thing will be recording, yeah, I will do that, but just not today. The thing is, I already set up the camera holder, but I didn't install the necessary USB card, so I actually can't insert the camera to the PC yet. I have bought it, but I need to open up the PC, and if you could look at the cable configuration of my PC, it's actually very neatly organized. I did a lot of work on the back of the PC, but it literally looks like the PC is on life support or something like that. It has so many cables going around there, and it's not the worst thing to remove it, but to remove it and to open the case and reapply everything, it's still a bit of a hassle. So yeah. I'm looking for a reason why I didn't do it, even though I should. Let me... No. I need a chalk brush here. Then I can do it like that. I do think we need to push that back a bit. It's very, very bright. Yeah, you know that too well. The computer of your dad looks exactly the same, yeah. It's just like, if you want to have a powerful PC, you kind of need a lot of cables and stuff, and also with my specific configuration, it doesn't help that I'm a musician as well, so a lot of the stuff is related to sound and the keyboard and all of that good jazz. Let me grab the blender real quick here. And again, sometimes when I'm deleting those details, I think, oh, they could work in one way or another, but I think it's more important to get a unified look first, and then we can reintroduce some elements. It's still very messy at this point, and this is a bit of a downside about photo bashing and I already talked about this quite a lot, is that when you do this amount of photo bashing, you get pretty nice results pretty quick, but the cleanup takes like an enormous amount of time. I'm still on the fence. Usually I go for it, because it's a bit ingrained in my digital workflow to do a photo bash, paint over it, do another photo bash, do another photo bash, and it usually leads to a very nice looking image, but again, it also leads to a lot of work. So when we do all of these blending, we have a bit to look out that we don't lose all of our nice hard edges. We don't want a soft Photoshop look all over the place. It's okay in some areas, but not all. We want to maintain a certain level of hard edges here. I think we need some additional green tones here, do we? Yeah, I think that works a bit better. Push that in the background a little bit, because I don't want to have rocks all over the place here. I do want to indicate a little bit of vegetation as well. So let's blend in even more. Something like that. I do also think we could like really push the tonal contrast of this foreground a bit more. But I want to do this after I'm finished with the retouching, basically. Not before. I do think I also want to switch to the chalk brush for a little bit of the hard edge work. Oh, picked the wrong color. Why isn't it working? It should be lighter. Yeah, there we go. Let us see. I mean, I should have done this a bit earlier, as I want to still emphasize the perspective a bit. Now it's not really that emphasized. I think especially this one, I'm not too sure. Yeah, I do think we need a couple of overpaint. Am I listening to a playlist? Yeah, these are actually songs done by me. I mean, later in the playlist we have some some tracks that aren't by me, but most of them are. That way I can avoid getting into trouble with Twitch concerning copyright. I mean, if I did everything by myself, it's not a problem. That on the flip side, it means that we have to hear a lot of the songs a bit over and over again, and I'm sorry for that. I haven't really found out a great solution on how to deal with that. I mean, we usually listen to the same songs, so I could introduce some of my older ones, but with the older ones I don't enjoy listening to all of those, especially not when they are very chaotic and stuff like that. So with these songs, they are a bit more light and a bit more geared towards streaming, I guess. Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna head out. Just wanted to say it was a very nice stream. Monkey design, absolutely no problem. I hope you have a great rest of Easter, of the holidays, and usually tomorrow is holiday in most other countries as well, I think. So if you do have holidays, I hope you can spend it well as well. Okay. Do you think I want to use a soft round brush there and mark out this edge here so that we can have a bit of a softer, oh no, that's not what I wanted to do, bit of a softer transition here. This should be way in the background, so it shouldn't be as visible. Yeah. Maybe I don't need to overemphasize it here. Yeah, I mean, you could have a bit of softer edges going on here. We don't need all hard edges. Something like that. And then let's blend a bit. Get rid of this here. Yeah, I need to come in with some hard edges as well. Otherwise this will look very funky. Let me grab the chalk brush again. Yep. Like that. Just like that. I don't know if we want to emphasize the end here a bit, maybe even a bit more. I feel like otherwise it's quite hard to read. Okay, well, that works. It should be a tad thicker, and it should quite thinner here in the background. And have some white values here as well. Yeah, I like that. This should continue down into this area. Yeah, I do think let me just flip the image real quick, because that way, first of all, I can get some other perspective on the image, which is important, but then I also can stay in this area with my hand and work on another area of the picture. Get the paint on the blender again. I think we should get rid of most of that. I think this element actually looks very, very dark. To lighten that up a bit, just a bit. Oh, this will be great fun. We can have a lot of fun here with the texture brushes. I do think this will work very nice here. But before we do that, we need to get rid of some of those cluttery elements. So I see that some new people joined. I hope you enjoy this stream where I continue the painting we actually started on our last stream, so it's not that evolved yet. We still have a lot of stuff to clean up because I used a bit of photo brushing technique in addition to painting. So this means we have a lot of those cleanup processes to do, but we're still doing a lot of painting. And I wanted to say, if you have like any questions, if you want to chat about technique or art, if you want to share your images and want to have my feedback, or just want to ask, I guess, anything, feel free to do so. Just wanted to mention that the image sharing is encouraged, and I like it, and you're not disrupting or anything. I also know a lot of other channels don't like to see that as much. That's why I mentioned it. Okay, before we go into too deep into this area, I mean, light is coming from here, so this shouldn't be light. It should be dark, or at least darker. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, when you switch the image too much, it is not that easy to stay consistent with your lighting, because you get wrong pickups somewhere from the photo bash, and then then you have spent an hour painting light from the wrong direction. I know what I'm talking about, it happened to me. So I need to flip around even more. And we also need some work here, but let's just tackle one issue after the other. I do think we can leave a bit of texture here, and I don't want to separate out like this from the grass with the fog element. I think that would overemphasize the thing. And use the painter with blender once more. And we need to lighten up this very dark area. I'm so sorry if I sound a bit repetitive from time to time, because like no way around it. When you are doing stuff like that, I'm constantly thinking about the same problems, the same issues. I mean, is this a tad too light? Where's the light coming from? How do I approach this? And yeah, usually I enjoy it more to then talk about some random topic. Sometimes there is something on my mind and I will continue ramble about that, but other times I don't have a specific topic, and then I'm always grateful if somebody is suggesting one or bringing another thing to the table. Sometimes I get very concentrated when doing like especially constructing stuff. I need to be a bit more aware of what I'm doing, but when I'm just detailing, I'm pretty much on autopilot mode. Yeah, something like that. And to emphasize this edge a bit. And let's switch to the... I need to include... just have the textured color blender here. I need the painterly blender here as well. This would make my life a bit more easy. Otherwise I constantly have to do this huge arm motion. And with the digital painting you want to be as effective as possible and not have too many unnecessary movements, right? I guess it's the same with analog painting. Okay, I really need to do this with the chalk brush here, because these are really supposed to be hard edges, and I can't do that with the blender. And it should be rather dark. I do think we need to work a little bit on the vegetation here as soon as we are finished with the cleanup, or with the main cleanup. How long am I streaming now? I think I started streaming in November last year. I think that's when I did my first stream, but maybe it was a bit earlier than that. I actually can't remember. I would need to look that up. And since I started streaming, I have basically designated Friday and Sunday to be my regular streaming days, and usually I stream on those, but like I said, sometimes, like even today, I was a bit late on the announcement because I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it, because real life always takes, well, real life should always take the first place. I mean, sometimes I miss the mark there as well. I guess every Twitcher does from time to time, but still I'm pretty confident that I nailed it most of the time. Then with that being said, it's kind of important still that you have a regular schedule, not only for your viewer base. I mean, that's more of an afterthought. It's also important that you are constantly pushing yourself, and I don't know, it just helps when you are disciplined and stick to a schedule and do your work. Okay, let's go to the texture blender maybe. That might be a bit much. Again, to the Painterly blender. And maybe to the knife. Okay, I think that works. One thing we do need to do is to lighten up the shadowy area here. I feel like at least a little bit. And then we can blend a bit more. Yeah, that does the trick. In case you're wondering why I'm pulling on the grid at this time. I do want to make sure that I stay somewhat in the perspective of the image. Usually it's not that big of a deal if you're doing like rocks and stuff like that if they are slightly off, because in real life they are. I mean, they are not off in perspective, but they twist and turn and do all of those stuffs. All of these things I wanted to say. Yeah, but this is oh my. So I at least need to take a short glimpse on the perspective layer from time to time. And I mean, I can tell you also a bit that I have now a regular German retro streaming day. I don't know if that is interesting for any of you, maybe not. I mean, if it is totally uninteresting, just tell me and I stop immediately talking about it. But we played a lot of Pizza Connection 2 lately. I mean, a lot. Some streams. And the last stream we just started Celeste, which has actually a very touching story. And I read all of the story in case you just want to have a nice evening and watch me play a very, very difficult platformer, and then we can experience the whole story together. Just one quick note on the side. And don't be afraid, I won't skip on the art streams for that. I mean, sometimes there might be some switching around between the streams, but I don't plan to do that. So usually it should just be the regular schedule. Need the chalk brush. Emphasize. This might be a bit much. Okay. Sometimes you need to do a stroke more than once in order to get a good result. But for me, this kind of works. I'm not really too much of a fan about this translation here. Maybe we can kill that at a later stage, but now just I think we should continue with the blending. And then as soon as we have everything on a bit of a homogeneous level, we can improve those little elements. Okay, let's switch the candles real quick. Yeah, something like that. I do want to include another rock here. Yep, I was about right with the perspective. That is good. I mean, if you can kind of eyeball the perspective and it works, that is usually a good sign. I don't know. Just wanted to try to separate this out a bit. Wasn't really working as expected. Again, need a Pentoli blender here. Oh, I really need to decide what we are doing here. I do think we want to remove all of that area. I mean, it's bothering me a lot now that I constantly have to look at it. So, guess get the chop brush and go into town here. This tree here, I guess, should be the first element of the foreground element that shows. So let's get rid of all of this here. Yeah, I do think we need to get rid of the tree stump there as well. Okay, something like that. And we can even blend that a bit. So we have some of the greenish variations here in the background. I don't think that's a bad idea. Let's see, where's the light coming from? It's coming from there, so it makes sense that this is a bit in shadow and a bit more brownish. I guess that's okay. So let's just do it like that. Yeah, why not? Switch to the Feng Zhu brush, and we can add even more shadow elements here. And then get a bit more hard edges. Here again, I feel like I repeat myself a lot, but yeah. I'm not thinking about anything more, guys. It's just doing the same stuff over and over and over again. Isn't that the definition of insanity? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not expecting other results though. I just expect to improve over time. And we certainly want to have some tree elements sticking out here, but that usually works better not if I'm gonna clean everything out, but rather have a nice edge here, and then we can have all those trees with a nicely painted background. So for now I just remove that, and we have a clear blue sky here. More or less. It doesn't even matter if it's not that precise, because we still need to worry a bit about the clouds and the lightning there. I think that needs also, yeah, needs also to follow the perspective quite a bit. feel like this might be a tad too much for the location it is in. The easy thing is to overdo all of this. It's very easy. This is why I'm constantly going back and forth and try out different things. Well, let's see. Get rid of this. And with the clouds we also want to think about form. So yeah. So even the clouds have three-dimensional elements to them. Very important to not forget about this. Okay, I got so hung up in the clouds here, so I still need to fix all of that. So I don't know how many streams do you think we will work on this one? I think it will be like the sci-fi city we did, which was 7 streams actually. I don't know if we need 7 streams, but let me put it like this. I can't imagine this to be finished in the next stream. Maybe it is, but at the moment I don't feel it. I do think we need to brighten up the shadows here a little bit. Oh yeah, we need to make sure those are following perspective, especially here. Like one rule that you can take away I guess is you rarely want to paint with pitch black in digital. It's so easy to grab this color here and you can see that, I mean, yeah, it's approaching black, but it's not. Let's see. I mean, this is a fender in my book. This is a very dark brown. It's so, but this is much better. Very grayish, bluish tinted color, and you can use that a lot better for the shadows. Let's see. I do need the painterly blender. And then it's the same here. It's very, very dark, but with the painterly blender we can at least introduce some green elements here, and this mitigates the problem to an extent. I think we should do that here too. Okay, let's draw our attention to this rock. I want to make this a bit bigger. And with the rocks we constantly also want to watch out that we aren't killing all of the hard edges here. Because if we do it, I mean, you already didn't do the best job here in the world. There are some areas which look slightly mushy and washed out. Yeah, I need to add some edges here as well. But I do think the color here works quite okay. Like this blue, I think it's what I want to have for the shadows. Yeah, rocks are always a bit of a mix between the chalk brush and the painterly blender approach for me. As we want to preserve those nice edges. Let's again switch to the painter with blender. Yeah, I really need to include that in the menu. If I don't forget it, I will do it in the next stream. I mean, not in the next stream, you know, before the next stream, so that it is fixed when we start. I do think that the rock still looks a bit light, doesn't it? I mean, we need to flip the canvas. Does it look too light? Oh, this is the monster thing that might come later on. I do think we need to tone that down a little bit. Looks a tad too light now. Let's see, how do we approach this? I think we get the soft round brush. We go to this and then maybe we set this to multiply. I mean, this will darken this too much, I guess. Okay, it's saving now. Save, save, save. Please let me continue to paint. Tough to call. It's tough to call. We should do here. Okay, this is the whole image, and I can instantly see that we have some red elements here we kind of want to get rid of. And yeah, something like that. I do think we're not doing the best job in indicating the 3-point perspective. I mean, the trees are... Oh. That's about it. Do we want some additional lightning there? I'm not too sure. I do think so. Yeah. I do think we want some foliage here later in the game, but not now. Oh, need to switch it off. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to emphasize the tip of this mountain rock thingy a bit. Necromancer streams, holy damn, this is incredible. I'm glad you are enjoying it. We did this painting, we started it in the last stream, and now we are continuing it. It has a bit of a fantasy epic vibe. It's a bit on the surrealistic side, I think. And as you can see, it still needs a lot of cleanup, but yeah. I'm glad you are enjoying it. So also nice to have you here. I think I mean, hopefully I didn't forget you, but I think it is your first time here? Maybe not. I love it, very chaotic, yeah. It definitely has a bit of a chaotic vibe going on. I will smooth down some portions of it a bit more, that it looks a bit more coherent. But yeah. It's not that bad for it to look a bit chaotic, I think. What I do want to do is to emphasize the perspective all throughout, so that we even have in the sky we have perspective going on with the clouds and stuff like that. Yep, first time. So if you are into this kind of fantasy drawing stuff and you want to watch me paint and ramble a little bit, I do stream on... Oh, let me see. This doesn't make any sense. It should be. I stream on Friday and Sundays from 18 to 20 GMT +1. And already, thanks for the follow, Necromancer. So, when you stream as well, do you stream art? So, if you do, then I would like to see what you're doing as well. I didn't stream for the past few months, unfortunately. That's okay. But you are doing art? But I do art still, so if you would like to share some of your art, this is highly appreciated in this channel, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But yeah, and if you want my take on it, I can certainly give you a bit of feedback, which is always wholesome, I think. Yeah, so yeah, I know some art streamers, they don't like to do this as much and consider it advertisement, but here it's totally okay. So before I continue on, maybe I can show you a bit what we did during the last streams. I think this was, and this will take a long time to load now, doesn't it? It's saving because I I switched on the time-lapse recording feature, and this makes the saving takes so much time and it goes to black, and I always worry that it crashes. It didn't for now, but we will wait. Sorry, I have a fairly decent rig, so there's absolutely no reason why it should take that long. Sometimes it just does. I mean, would be very weird if it were the first time to crash, but it wasn't. Okay, it just saved, and maybe no, I have this only in the clip studio paint format. So. Okay, I think this was some of the environmental thumbnails that we also did on stream, and then we decided which thumbnails to improve, and I think the community decided, where do I have the thumbnails again? I don't know, save them somewhere. And we decided for 1, 3, and this we will do later. I prepared a Blender model for the train, and we will do that as well, but I haven't gotten around modeling it fully. And this, I think, was the last one. So if you dig this kind of environmental stuff, and we also had like a bit more of a horror themed one here. I guess you can see that I really have a love for hard edges and a certain painting style. So I guess this really fits Easter. It's a mountain scene. Yeah, okay, enough showing around. So if you dig stuff like that, be sure to to come again. And since you have already followed, I don't think I need to convince you anymore, but I wanted to at least show a bit of my art. I hope that's okay. So let me see. Oh, this is actually the wrong one. Oh, might have done some major mistake there. So this is the one I should paint on. And I do think I will stream about 10 to 20 minutes about later. Then I have my 2 hours, and then I will see what I do next. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'll make sure to hop in when I can. Yeah, that would be very great. I really appreciate it. And also, if you just want to lurk, I mean, it's always nice to have somebody talking to me, and I'm very happy about that. But still, I want to make sure if you just want to paint on your own and just want to have a lurk, that's like totally okay too. I just tend to talk all the time. On a side note, please excuse my terrible German accent. It gets a bit worse the longer the stream goes and the more concentrated I am. So yeah, I try to do better, but still, sometimes it's a bit hard to listen to myself, I know that. The colors are very serene. I don't do environmental art, it fascinates me. Yeah, I kind of do environmental art almost exclusively. I guess you can say it's also a bit of a unique thing on Twitch, but that wasn't the consideration. I'm just more of a environmental guy in general. Like, I did some character designs and stuff like that, but I'm just not that good at it. And another thank you for following A Chance with Fox. Thanks for the follow. I hope you are doing great too. And yeah, basically what we do on the stream is start to slap a bit of color on the canvas. Sometimes we have a bit of photo bash going on, sometimes we don't. And then I constantly improve the images until we arrive until something nice happens. And yeah, like I said, I'm more drawn, and the thing is, I'm also more comfortable with doing environmental design things. This is like what I have been practicing for a very long time, so I'm just very confident when it comes to that. And with characters, I have a bit of anxiety, you could call it. Hi, I also love environment and landscape art. A Chance with Fox, thank you. Are you drawing stuff like that as well? Again, my a bit of a repeat now, but if you do want to share some of your art, that would be great. And if you want, I can try to give you a little bit of feedback. If you don't want to, that's fine too. Just wanted to make sure that you all understand that it's totally encouraged to share your art, and sometimes I even do like in-depth analysis and help and stuff like that. I really like to do that, and you're not interrupting me, and if you want to get into it, it's great, and if you don't, it's totally fine too. Okay, we still have to do a lot of cleaning up, especially on these parts of the image. I guess this shouldn't be that light. Yeah, this tends to happen when you do photo bash a lot, that you have various pictures with slightly different light sources and not everything comes together real quick, so you need to constantly keep an eye on this. Okay, let's see. We switch to the Painterly Blender once more, and then we are going to mitigate some of the weird pixelated mess here and make everything feel a bit more uniform. And also with this environmental painting specifically, I did have the idea to make it slightly surreal and have a very eldritch looking monster incorporated into that, and I just did a silhouette which still looks weird and funky, but I guess you can already see that this makes the image even bigger in a sense. So I guess we will see what we do about that, if we will keep it or if we scrap it. I'm not too sure. By the way, since you mentioned if you want to check out my Instagram, yeah, I could certainly do that. Just give me a sec to continue with the Painterly Blender for a moment, and then I'm gonna look at the Instagram. I mean, if it's okay if it is done on string. I assumed it is, but I have to ask one more time. Get the knife brush. Okay. I'd rather watch you do your thing. Yeah, no problem, but I'm also getting a bit tired, so I grab for every straw to procrastinate a bit. I guess it's totally fine. Just want to get everything that I had on my mind out really quick, that I'm not lost. Yeah, still we really need to improve some of the elements here. This looks so messy. But still, I mean, even if it is looking messy, it is working on a fundamental level. Like all of this image is basically following atmospheric perspective. It is using the perspective grid, and most of the time this aligns fairly well. So if the fundamentals are right, we can toy around with that a lot. Yeah. You say go ahead, and now I will look at the Instagram art. I hope that's okay. Let me push it in a new image. Okay. Let's look at that. Wow. This looks amazing. I feel like there's a lot of how's this one game called, like Hollow Knight? I played that one. I feel like a lot of the style, I think even that looks a bit like the main character. Yeah, I really like this. It has a very unique feel to it. Yeah, I think like on some of the coloring, I feel like, yeah, it's certainly personal preference, but I think your line art is a bit stronger than your shading skills, but still it looks very, very cool. Very nice. Oh, it keeps on going and going. Wow, this is great. Not completely mine. Okay, so it's a bit of an overpaint. I don't know, but still it looks very, very cool. Yeah, like I said, I really prefer the look of the line art to the shaded ones. Maybe that is because we can talk a bit about colors here. Like, look at this image, it looks very vibrant, yeah, and it has some very vibrant spots in the image, but if you look, like, for example, from this purple tone, it is basically gray with a little bit of red mixed in. You can look here, this is almost entirely gray. Even this here, it looks very blue, yeah, the mist separating the planes, but it is basically gray. And here we have some saturation, some blue saturation going on, but you see me staying in this area of the color wheel for a huge amount of the image. I mean, here you have, like, in these really bright spots where you have like the orange going on, you have saturation, but this is just a very, very tiny amount. And I start out my images usually fairly muted and add those little sparks of very saturated tones. Like here, this is very untypical. I think this resulted from the photo bash a bit. Here we have a very bright spot, but I kind of have to search for them. Otherwise, when I go through the normal image, it is fairly muted in tone. And I think this is a good mindset if you want to go for such a shading. I mean, obviously you don't... I mean, your images suggest that you are going for a more cartoony style, and I love that. That's cool too. And this doesn't need to incorporate all of those, I guess, rules, or whatever you want to call it. But if you are going for a more realistic rendering, like I think you wanted to add that here, I think with some muted colors you would have a little bit more success, but still everything is subjective, so this could be style as well. You make saturation, let me just read it for a moment. I made an homage to that one, to Hollow Knight. Yeah, it's a great game, by the way. I really did enjoy it. I haven't played it all to the end, but yeah, I can certainly see the appeal. The contrast is not that much saturation based as it is based on tonal value, and you can see here it's for my usual style. This is very, I guess, unique because we don't have a very clear separation of foreground, midground and background. Usually it is a lot clearer. We have here, we have the bright sky, okay, yeah, then we have the midgroundy midground and usually a darker foreground, but since we are working a bit with color perception here, we can get away with this being not not as dark as it should be. Also, we are leaning towards a surreal, epic fantasy style, and that we can do those kind of things a bit, but usually it's more on the surreal side. I will suggest. So yeah, what I wanted to say is basically it's not the saturation as much as it is just the tonal value, but the saturation is important in that you should stick around in this area of the color wheel for like 90% of the image, and you just want to do little sparks of highly saturated areas to get a very vibrant and very lively image. And still, if I have painted that all to the end, I might even go in and add really crazy saturation here and there, but yeah, you shouldn't do this in this stage, at least if you are going for a bit of a similar style and approach. You can see this, but I'm legit writing notes. Yeah, I'm very happy if I can help in one way or another, and usually I talk about this stuff quite a lot, and I even have some like tutorial style sets, and if you are interested in that, I upload all my stuff on YouTube, and you have those little elements in the streams where I talk a bit about construction of planes of perspective, separating out the various layers. It's repeating, so you don't have to watch all of the vids, but I wanted to say that I am maybe going to look around in those videos and look out for the areas where I talk about certain elements and then upload them as separately on YouTube as tutorials and stuff like that. Haven't gotten around to do that, but at least that's the plan. Yeah, we also need to add some foliage element, but I won't do this in this stream. I think the next stream will be almost entirely devoted to the foreground. But I still think we did a good job merging everything together. We can look on the picture where we started, and I think this will show how much progress we made. This is, I mean, it is good that Clip Studio Paint is saving recovery information all the time, because I hate to lose work like I did with Affinity. But then sometimes I'm so in the flow and it pushes me a bit out of it. I don't like that so much. Okay, let's see, this is where we started, and I do think we improved quite a lot. Yeah, I mean, still some very wonky areas here and there, and we need to paint over certain areas a lot more, but progress is progress. Yeah, I wish I could do characters in the style Necromancer like you do. I have a lot of trouble coming up with my avatars. I did some sketches and they look halfway decent, but yeah, it's just, as an artist you tend to get to one thing. I guess you can relate. Yeah, let me let me make that point. You have this one thing you can do fairly well. You're confident in it, so what happens? You do that more and more and more and more. So if you are happy with your characters, you do characters more and more and more, and you kind of don't do landscapes. And it's the exact opposite for me. I'm so into landscapes and I just tend to do them all of the time. Control S so you don't make a mess. Yeah. Let me save real quick. You're right, I should do that. And I think the screen will turn black again. Don't be afraid. It's just because Clip Studio Paint is saving this huge ass file. Oh, it's not going black now. Oh, it is. Writing to file, please continue. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and even though I kind of splitted the images in 2 parts already. Make a castle golem as a study on landscape-based creatures. A castle golem. Aye, that's actually a great idea. Yeah. Maybe I do that when I get around painting a bit of thumbnails. We develop a few thumbnails and then we try to do that. Yeah. With castles though, I feel like I still have, how do I put that? I have a bit of trouble doing them in no, it's not the right way to do a lot of thumbnails with heavy perspective. Is still a bit hard for me, and usually when I do stuff like that, like castle golem and stuff like that, you really need to nail down the perspective, and what I then do is usually not sketch like I would with the environmental thumbnail full color, but rather sketch with pen and pencil and work from there, which yeah, doesn't make that entertaining video, I guess. Also because my pencil drawing is significantly weaker, I think, than my digital painting skills. But still, I like a challenge. And most of the challenges we tackled here were successful. We had, like, I think on 2 streams we had things that weren't fully working. I think one desert rock where I did a reference study, this wasn't going too well, and one where we did a bit of an AD&D style fight with a giant snake in temple ruins. Like, I guess I can still make this work, but I feel like, especially with the monster snake, it is so messed up, and I just not I don't like to overdraw this a couple of thousand times. Here I really don't mind. It is actually quite contemplating and quite nice. Especially, I mean, here everything works, and in the other image it just won't work. And I guess you can really relate to, all of you can relate to that feeling that you have like this one painting and it just won't work. You're doing it over and over and over again, and it just changes to varying degrees of bad. So this is what this one image feels like for me. Also, a little information, since I had a lot of requests to get a second camera to really show what I'm doing with my hand on the tablet. I bought a second camera, and maybe in some of the next streams, I guess on Friday, you will see this camera. I have already bought it and it's already here, but I need to configure stuff in my PC. Especially I need another like USB 3.0 card installed to be able to install the camera, and I haven't done that because of Easter and all of the stuff. But I will do it, and then you can see me paint a bit better, I think. Yeah, and I mean, I could talk a little bit about the brushes, but still I feel like we are also approaching a bit the end of this particular stream. Even though it was great fun, but all good things need to come to an end. But it was really nice, Necromancer, and also all of the others watching and listening to me, to have this nice stream here with you guys. And we will continue this image until it is done. And I think we will need not one but two or maybe three streams to really get everything on a level where I'm comfortable. I think we want to get rid of this. Yeah, sometimes you gotta make decisions what you want to keep and what you want to erase out. And we already had it in the beginning of the stream where we added all of the foreground element, and I think that improved the image quite well. But we did do a lot of work on these little rock formation thingies here, and they are all now lost. But that's not really a bad thing, as the whole image really improved. Been a pleasure, awesome stuff. Thanks for the notes and the insights. Yeah, I hope I could help, and maybe in the next stream I can even look a little bit closer, because this was now, I guess, a bit of a quick look through everything. I don't know, not digging this too much here. I think this is just separated a bit too much. This is why it looks so funky. Okay, I say it is now 8:07. I had a blast, like I said. and we will continue this in the next stream. Let's see if we have somebody to raid. That would be great. And even if you know somebody you would like me to raid, or if you are streaming yourself, just tell me and I can raid there then. I'm constantly going to see cover because she's the the only one streaming all the time. I do want to go to another, maybe a streamer who's not so big. So I guess I just look a little bit and see if somebody is doing environmental art. It's always hard to find guys and girls doing this sort of stuff. No, we don't want German, we want English streams. So hard, everybody is doing character work. Where do we have someone not doing characters? I'm looking and looking, I don't see anybody. Oh, here. This seems like a great artist. Let's rate. His name is Somartist. Okay. Let's rate him. Let's do that. Okay. So, goodbye. I hope you're all doing great.